supports for their 2 last picks. Like, you're just not utilizing second pick well if that's the case.
CM's one of those that has returned. We thought it might. It was there's a lot of people talking about this, wasn't there, before the group stage started, you know, pondering whether mana, is it going to be important? Well, just imagine being with that. How does it fit around the drop? Is it worth still picking? It's definitely proven the case, isn't it?
Yep. I think just the popularity of some of these others have overshadowed the Crystal Maiden, and just like these Venge Marauders, Wraith Kings, and then we took down a few little, down a little bit more. Then we have the CM still picked with a decent win rate.
Still 47 picks with 51.06 win rate, so yeah, pretty decent.
There were a lot of memes about her, right? It's just like a global clarity potion.
Yeah.
But right now, if you max that Nova early, your lane pressure is actually insane.
You're the range creep secure, and you're the global clarity.
Exactly. Now you're 2 things. How much damage is Nova level 1? 100? 130?
130.
130, yeah.
Yeah, it matches the mana now, because they changed that one back after Summit.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So, they're probably not going to pick Miracle Seal last, because there's honestly no difference when they pick it 4th or 5th, if you're first pick. So, what could be a good Miracle Hero here? I personally like Invoker, if they want to go down that.
We might.
But it's like the mid-brood, probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the brood mid.
Yeah.
Still Bloodseeker in the pool. That's been picked quite a lot against the Necrophos.
Phantom Lancer, potentially.
Yeah, that's actually been one of the sleeper heroes here, you know. 26 picks and a 61.54% win rate.
Because usually he gets picked quite late, and then the game is very good for him. They do go for the bat.
I've seen them do the bat versus the Necro so many times.
It's really good.
It's just amazing. And then with the Earth Spirit thrown on top, you have such good kill threat on the laning phase. So now it's like Liquid's they're looking to hunt for this lane. So you're probably going to see them scout very early on just to get this Bat Rider versus Necro matchup. And the beauty also is that he might also be versus Nature's Prophet. So it's like a double benefit.
Either way, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, even if they put both Necro and Prophet as cores, he will just demolish both lanes.
Yeah, he's very happy about that.
You definitely have to go away from the Prophet core now, I think. There's way too many good heroes against him right now. Get the position for Prophet. Does Sai play that? Has he played it? I don't know. Probably has.
I'm thinking back to when it was like the DAC era, when we saw the rise of like the Nature's Prophet. I don't know if he played it, though.
Well, he can definitely do it. He played a lot of offlane Prophet back in this time.
Yeah,
so.
if you really want, you can just play 4-position CM and put the Prophet as a 5 as well.
It also works, yeah.
It's kind of a similar concept, just depending where you want the heroes to land.
Always love myself some BKB freezing field fights.
Versus Venge and Bat, kind of tough, though.
And then you get swapped and you're like, oh no.
So Optic thing.
Oh, they might like carry Ricky.
Just in case.
It's also, I mean, versus Necro.
It's very good.
Necro is all about getting your Ghost Shard out. If you're silenced this early, it actually could be pretty scary with the Venge as well. Like, the Venge is what can enable that Ricky to really just pop off. That's
we've seen 3 Rickies so far, only 1 win during the group stage.
Honestly, Liquid has a lot of heroes to choose from.
They've got a good mix in their draft. Like, they've got teamfight, they've got magical, physical. While I look at Optic, I feel like they really lack physical right now between the heroes. It's mostly magical.
Yeah, the only thing they have is like a tiny or physical.
Yeah,
that's not a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
What they could be looking for. Their draft is so well rounded already.
It is.
Probably just a strong laner that doesn't suffer too much from a Prophet tiny dual lane potentially.
I was thinking something maybe like a... I don't want to throw it out, but I was going to say something like a Sven, because...
Sven is really good. Level 15 talent, you can dispel the Ghost Shroud as well.
Right, what are they performing?
Okay.
Also, we think
Safer.
Yeah.
And it's PL.
Yeah.
Okay.
Phantom Lancer.
So that's the lane that they want to get the PL versus the Bat Rider.
Right. If PL gets farmed, they're going to win this game. Like, late game, they have nothing against the PL. Yeah. Unless they jump in first, which is incredibly difficult to do with
All right, boys, it's that time. One more time. 60 seconds of stats. Miracle delivered big time for Liquid in that last game. That 12-minute, 20-second Radiance was in the top 20 all-time in over 1,000 pickups in Pro Dota 2 LAN play. In this game, Optic has to control that early game. Necrophos in this tournament, 15-10 record in games that end before 40 minutes, only 5-12 in games that go late. But there are two sides to every story, and that Matumbaman Brood is going to be the problem throughout. He is 7-1 on that hero in TI LAN play. Nobody else has more than 3 wins. Guys, the backs are against the wall for the North American team in the upper bracket. Paul, what do you think?
Thank you very much. Yes, good stuff. I'm glad he managed to elaborate in that. Time to head over to our commentary duo for game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. It's Synderen and Toby 1.
Well, what a game. Cinder and Lou were sitting here during the drafting phase, and you were like, we're going to have, actually, you went, we're going to have Broodmother as the second pickup, and you were nailing every single one. You knew what Liquid were going to do.
It's a slight exaggeration.
Okay, you knew 3 out of 5 as they were coming up, but Liquid looked like they were almost predictable. Optic, like, are they in a good spot? Like, can they utilize this draft to force us into a game 3?
So what I think happened here is that Liquid are drafting a specific pattern that we saw during the groups, and they get these really good core matchups for their Batrider with the Earth Spirit that we've also seen them play. And I'm just looking at, okay, what can Optic actually do in this position? They need a hero that can lane against that Bat. They need a hero that's also good against Brood. The last pick, Phantom Lancer, seems like a good choice, but it's also decent against the panel on this, that if it goes late, the Phantom Lancer as well as Necro will do great, but can they get there? You've seen the Brood of Matumbaman just destroy this mid-game timings of enemy teams, so playing slow against Brood doesn't have the best track record exactly against this team.
It really doesn't, because the Broodmother just dominates the mid lane totally, and in the current meta where it's this 2-1-2, bringing someone in to help out the mid lane normally means you're going to lose one of your side lanes, and then you've got 2 heroes to worry about, and then you still can't instantly deal with the Broodmother. They don't have great scouting methods for them. They can deal with what Brood throws at them, but beyond that, more questions start to be asked. But with Team Liquid, if they win this game, they're into top 6 for TIA. Yep. That's guaranteed position. That's the big advantage as well of being in this quarterfinal in the winners bracket. Top 6 at TI, you're already very satisfied. Obviously, Liquid, though, won't be satisfied until they've got the whole win. And a good start would be killing off Pycap.
Yeah, this is maybe all let's see.
GH starts. Rolling Boulder will connect. Kuro's got the magic missile. Doppelganger already. Pycap, which one's the real one? They can't work it out. They magic missile and attack the wrong one. He's just auto running to the left.
Nice bait.
Oh, it's just like, we're going to start this way with Optic every single time. Such a simple fight.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I was gonna make a final comment on it. We don't really get to see it just yet, but this Ursa versus Phantom Lancer matchup is one we've seen a couple of times during the groups, I would say. And Liquid picking the Ursa in the position that they did, I think they were anticipating this Lancer pick. I think they were expecting that this would happen, and they're willing to take the risk. In my mind, Ursa is actually a decent hero against Phantom Lancer at specific timings in the game, just because Fury Swipes, once you get it on the real PO, he doppelgangers, it sticks. You can follow him very easily and bring him down with this heavy chase that they have from Earth Spirit and Batrider, and you can even swap him back in with the Venge. So I think it makes a lot of sense. However, later on, Lancer is a problem a lot of the time for this Ursa hero.
Yeah, because then there's just so many of them, they're going to be burning off the matter if he decides to go Diffusal Blade. Whole bunch of problems for him. Top lane, I think it's going to be a lot of problems for Optic Gaming. It's already the aggression of Kuro. Rolling
nice
Boulder.
block.
It's actually blocked by Zai. He's doing a lot of damage to GHPP. He isn't much more to give apart from his life. The Nova does connect, but GH already beginning his self. They've taken so much damage. Yeah, they've done First Blood. If they can get more, the Earthshock comes in from Miracle. Remember, he went that level 1, but 33's Death Pulse, chasing him into the tree line. They need a little bit more damage, a little bit more reveal. The attack keeps the armor low from Zai, and with the Nova, they'll slow down Miracle, find the kill. There's still a pesky Earth Spirit behind the lines. And thanks to this being 1 minute into the game, the respawns are quick, and you know they're going to just open up again.
And what we have here is one of the situations that we haven't had very much during this tournament. It's actually a 3-1-1 setup for both teams. Currently, the Batrider playing a one-on-one against the Phantom Lancer. Optic did have to pay a decent amount of experience to bring down the Phantom Lancer to this bottom lane, but they do end up getting the lane matchup that they want. They don't want Ursa against that Lancer, and they definitely do want their Lancer against the Batrider. Necropos against Batrider, unplayable lane.
GH has already TP'd down towards bottom lane, so yeah, PL, not what he wants to have. He'll back up for now, away from the ES. Thanks to the Dire Observer Ward that was already down from Optic, they're already very well aware of this rotation. That's when you got the flexibility of a hero like Nature's Prophet. Can bounce anywhere across the map. This Nature's Prophet can just change the balance of the lanes very quickly without having to rotate very early on. So now it's Miracle, who's not going to get much out of the lane. 1 CS in 2 minutes. This is the opposite of his game 1.
And Ursa's not really the greatest comeback hero. If you have an atrocious laning stage, it takes a decent amount of time to catch up in that jungle position. So we'll see how it goes for him so far. Like you said, Optic have a pretty good grip on this top lane. Just, I think this matchup is, it's weird, right? The Ursa against Necrophos. Ghost Shroud is amazing against Ursa, but at the same time, Ursa one of the hardest burst heroes. So if you have Ghost Shroud on cooldown or you're stunned, Ursa can make quick work of you, but obviously Vengeful, they have no kill potential up here right now.
Well, GH is in trouble. He'll rolling boulder up, PPD, as all great CMs do. Goes Frost Nova as well as the Arcane Aura, so Crystal Nova, sorry, then the Arcane Aura. So no Frostbite to stun him up. But at least makes GH burn his consumables. He's got 3 stick charges and a clarity to work with.
The thing I talked about last game with this Liquid team that they have...
Oh, but trouble for Zai. Koro and Miracle opening up on him. Zai beginning the TP and TP out!
Bottom lane 2.
Yep, they're going out. Multiple targets. Pycat. So Prophet escapes. Pycat will not. PPD now under the Firefly with Sticky Napalm on him. He's got Nova off cooldown now, so wants to turn around to at least dish out something. As he'll salve up.
This is going to be one of those games that you see where if you have this view on Liquid that, oh, they just set up Miracle for the perfect game and he carries every game, that's not how this team necessarily works in their games. This time around, they have way more emphasis on getting Matumba Man on his Broodmother off to a good start, and Mind Control will be doing a lot of work. Bottom lane again, Firefly's up.
They really just want to keep going every time the fire's there. Great kick from GH buying more time. PPD with a 3 sticky napalm charges on him, but Pycat, maybe he can get a revenge, and he will onto Mind Control.
That's a very important kill.
314 gold for Pycat, and obviously it's a support kill going the other way.
Yep. A lot of experience too. Mind Control in this situation was level 4. So Pycat is kind of evening out the lane now as far as experience goes. On the gold, still a slight disadvantage, but he has a wave in his tower, so it's going to even out. Just this one exchange doing a lot for Optic in that bottom lane.
We haven't even really looked. Okay, we can look towards top lane as this is just simple initiation, Ghost Shroud as well as the bump, but that's why you've got that Earth Shock, slow down 33, one more fist pump would do it, but 33, the movement speed with the Death Pulse, Miracle's real low, but he has the damage required to get the kill. Zion doesn't have the vision, so Miracle can just salve back up again. While that was happening on bottom lane, there was another kill onto PPD, Mind Control and GH copying a lot of damage, but they're there for the 5-minute bounty runes.
Crystal Maiden is a very slow hero. 277 move speed, PPD is nowhere near getting boots. So this Bat Rider Earth Spirit, just hyper-aggression, is difficult for the Crystal Maiden to deal with. Is this 4 runes?
It's 4 bounty runes.
Oh, that's bad news for Optic.
This is some really good money in for Team Liquid, and it's actually repaired a little bit of the damage in the net worth between CCNC and Matumberman, because CCNC's been having a really great mid lane. Yeah, the CS looks a little bit better for the Broodmother, but CCNC's got majority of these as lane creeps, as well as a couple of extra spiders.
We've seen Matumberman play this lane, I think, twice before this tournament, however, and if he plays against this Tiny, he's willing to lose a little bit. That's how the lane goes. He's just farming jungle and getting the job done later.
A rolling boulder going in under the bottom lane. Pycat was able to doppelganger dodge it, so Mind Control and GH will not get the initiation they want. And Optic's been really posturing on the top, looking to bring down Miracle. He's got 9 stick charges available, but it was Zai looking for the range harassment onto him to at least put him in some level of peril that Necro can make the most of. Something Ursa should probably be a little bit more scared of too is when that scythe is up for Necro.
PPD as well.
Great trap on bottom. They came in with the Sprout. Firefly from Mind Control had to be used to try and body block it up with the Treant. Won't happen. Pycat jumps in deeper. He's still got a Lance as well as Doppelganger available. Lost vision for half a second. So Mind Control does return back to his tier 1 tower.
That is a rotation from Optic that they gain nothing out of, really. Like, and it puts Necro in this awkward position where he has to play a bit safer now. He can actually die up here now that Liquid know. Oh, they found Peter.
PPD.
Poor old Peter.
Well, this is a chance for the Malcolm Water, especially when GH can land that 3-man kick. Mind Control has the fire right on top of him. They're going to kill up GH in return, but he actually gets the silence off. Doppelganger route. Mind Control has to slow him down. Zai already had 3 sticky napalm charges on him. PPD will arrive. He's got Frostbite available, but he just can't close the distance. Pycat needs to slow down Mind Control with the lance to then bring PPD closer, but even then it's 276 versus 277 movement speed. Now you got got Nova, but Mind Control's got the distance and the one charges to survive.
And GH brings in the Tranquils and refills the bottom. So it looked like, okay, at least they got some good pressure out. Nope, PPD's not going to be expecting this.
Rolling Boulder back in again. PPD was at least able to dodge the Rolling Boulder in, but it's just going from bad to worse for him. He's 0 now for 5. Again,
This
being the
is-
majority of Liquid's kills.
It's a really, really hard game for Maiden, to be fair, in this early game when you get this laning. Phantom Lancer is good against Batrider, but this exchange of just the supports being in the lane, Maiden is food for this dual lane.
Zai looking to try and engage. 33 is really close to level 6, but he's too far off. He needs more creeps to die. So now the attack comes in from Miracle. Ghost Shroud's still available, but he's already burned his stick charges and doesn't have Jet Pulse up just yet. So Kuro keeps the vision up as, well, Miracle wants to salva, get back into the fight, but level 6 is there, but there's no mana for the Reaper's side. Prophet has to come back in again. Miracle just can't try getting away from these Treants, but then the stun is there from Kuro. Zai's arriving. Sprout, can he actually lock up Kuro? The distance, the side is up. Kuro won't die to this. Maybe the last attack. It is there from 33. The regeneration gets to arrive. That's why he pops up the Ghost Rod. That Miracle losing armor, but that burst damage. Oh, almost bringing down Zai, but it's a big kill for 33. 2 of them, in fact.
Such a close game. Maiden Aura. That's that global clarity. It actually made the difference. 33 got his Reaper in time.
Oh, bottom lane. Hey, at least
no,
Maiden can stay alive for a little bit longer. No, he's okay.
He's fine this time.
There's too much harassment actually coming in to Mind Control when he goes in this deep now. Should have also flagged that mid lane. Tier 1 tower was brought down by CCNC. This is closing up the area that Matubman has to play in. Obviously, you can still move very fast inside of the webs.
This is what you want to do if you're playing against Brood. If you can't hunt Brood and kill it, at least put pressure on the tower constantly so you get something out of it. Either Brood has to go back and defend, which costs farm, or you just get that free map control. And very nice from CCNC. He's not going to find him here, it looks like. He's waiting for it, but Matumba...
GH, they're going again on bottom lane. Pycat's going to use his doppelganger, just trying to get away. It's a good stack, and that's why Mind Control has that Firefly down with the sticky napalm level 4. Just try and burn through a PPD, or probably try and time this Nova right if you can catch GH out in the tree line. CCNC even comes in looking for this, and Zai TP's in, but he doesn't get the Sprout onto Mind Control.
Didn't get the right angle on the... I think this is not where he wanted to teleport in. He teleported in a bit of an awkward spot and had to try to blind cast the Sprout. Not having boots on the Nature's Prophet either. This lineup is actually just moving pretty slowly across the board. Nobody has good move speed in their team.
Nice toss in from CCNC. He actually threw his tree and I think got like 10 CS of spiders with one swing. Really trying to make sure that Matubman doesn't have a free time. They've even got the observe board blocking up the camp.
Alright, this time around Optic will get bounty rinse, so that's good news. Looks like an even trade-off for 2.
Yeah, bottom lane though, Mind Control's looking for the kill. Flash, you have Lasso up and running. PL needs to get a doppelganger away. Rolling Boulder, they kept the control going so long, and PPD, mercy, mercy, mercy. The Crystal Maiden is now 0-6. And life is very hard for her, but it's the diminishing returns. There has to be diminishing returns eventually on this. Maybe with the Haster and CCNC can work with Zion. They have the Observer Ward down. They're looking for the Brood, but Matama's in pretty deep.
He's playing this very well. Has a good read on what's going on.
Rolling Boulder in, they're looking for a double. Kick is going to not be there. They turn on the magnetizer set. Oh, the kick is still there. CCNC can't escape from this. Toss was still on cooldown. Sakura swapping Zai back into the fight, and then the perfect body block and control. The Tubberman's been keeping up, but now he's ahead. Number 1 of the net worth with those 2 kills.
I've talked about this during the group stage as a similar, like, a concept that you see some teams play better than others. I think Liquid's one of the absolute best at this, is playing around your strong heroes. They take advantage of, you see, they realize, okay, Miracle's not in the best position in this game. We're going to help him a bit, and then we will put so much pressure on the rest of the map that Miracle gets to be a force in this game. He didn't really truly have to play comeback just because of how much they played around Mind Control and now around the Brood of Matumba.
Pycat looking for a GH. He's just so damn good. Mind Control. His Firefly will wear off. They summon up the tree and they want to go in deep. GH wild. Rolling Boulder this time gets him into safety at least. But his kicks have been totally on point.
And it just seems so logical, right, when you look at it. We have this strong hero that can do something right now. We should take advantage of this, play to that hero's strengths, so we get fights. And in turn, if we do it properly, it relieves pressure on the other lanes. And that's basically what's given Miracle this he's almost back to third net worth in this game.
Nice Sprout reveal on bottom mind control. With the fortification of the Dire creeps, it keeps the tier 1 tower alive. Take at the moment, was allowing them a little bit more pressure onto the tier 1 tower with the rotation of CC&C. You kind of hope they would get more out of this.
Yep.
But it doesn't happen for an Optic fan. Pycat just TP's back into farm. He is going to go that Diffuser Blade after the Tread Sequela.
This Vanguard on mind control is actually really good this game. When you're snowballing this hard from the laning stage, you just look at, okay, how can I be the biggest pestilence in fights that they can't deal with? Largely you can ignore a trance, largely you can ignore the PL illusions, and just this early on, they are not killing him without a Reaper, I think. And Necrophos doesn't want to go there. So, you can feel very confident. I'm curious to see if mind control goes for a dagger now, or if he even goes just a full-on combat build with Vanguard and Pipe, and just runs into them and fights. It's like, try to kill me. I have a swap behind me.
You can get the Blink Dagger later if they really require it. That's what will allow him to at least catch up to Zai. And Zai's a threat, but a threat you can see coming from a very long way away. Mind control maybe thinks about the fight, the Nova will scare him off. And again, Mataman attacks in towards the mid. Pycat was there, looking for a denial. Has to doppelganger himself away. Mataman already burned off the Insatiable Hunger. 33 TPs over. Kuro's nearby. But they don't have extra support. Zai is currently farming up inside the Radiant jungle.
And it might not look that big, but this TP from 33 is actually going to matter quite a lot. If he gets spotted on a ward, I think they saw him in the river, so now they know he's crossing toward bottom. And this is Miracle's cue to just play aggressive top. Knows there's no Necrophos here. He TP'd mid. There's no other way he could have got here in time, so you just redistribute your resources. Sure, you guys can have the bottom tower. In some way, you kind of argue they over-rotated. They brought 4 heroes down here.
Great ops. Mind control instantly has his smoke being broken. And Optic do want to try and fight. As he said, like, they have their own Observer Ward. So 33 will walk under it. The tier 1 tower was lost on bottom. CC&C has Blink Dagger ready to initiate. But he's not finding his target, so they instead add pressure onto bottom lane. Mop up the creep wave, push the tier 2 tower a little bit. But Liquid are happy with this. Straight Roshan trade-off. Optic Gaming are nearby, but they cannot contest this. They do not have the power.
Brood and Ursa is such an exceptional Roshan combo. Very easy. Aegis, they put it on Matumba, man. This Brood is getting ready to rock and roll. They know he's the richest hero in the game. And arguably a better hero to have Aegis on than Ursa. Usually Ursa with Aegis, it can be a little bit tricky, like which life do you enrage? It's similar to when you have BKB. Do you BKB your first or second life?
Bottom lane attacks coming in. They need to get that stun control and then follow up with the Reaper's Scythe. But mind control hasn't taken enough damage just yet. He's so damn tanky with the 1 charges too. They'll get the lasso out, so Tiny just has to remain for a moment and they swap inside. No escape for him. He's not even beginning his TP. He just remains stationary. And Optic lose too. They do not claim that bottom tower and they don't even in any way threaten the Aegis.
Oh, looks like the Aegis is going to threaten them instead. Found the wrong one. Good move again by Pycat. If the right one gets found there, he actually dies. Matumba can easily solo this Phantom Lancer after Doppelganger has been expended. We were looking at this stronger. Exactly. We were looking at this game and we were looking at, okay, Optic, you need to get this Phantom Lancer to a strong state in the late game and not lose full control of the map on the way there. And Liquid are just dominating them. Again, it's a huge advantage, and especially Lancer not doing better than this in lane hurts, because ideally at this point you want to have this Diffusal completed. So he's like 1,000 to 2,000 gold behind par for the course, I would say, and
they're going up the top. Miracle jumps in, goes up the side. The Sprout pushes Miracle, well, pushes him away and leaves Miracle contained. But it's so easy to cut out, always with Quelling Blade in hand.
And look at Mind Control's item build. How is anyone gonna die when this Bat Rider has Crimson Pipe minute 20?
Oh, I know how everyone can die, but they're all Optic players.
Yeah.
Pycat initiated on CC&3, throws a tree in, and he doesn't actually blink to go for the Avalanche Toss. In fact, he's diffusal up. Matumba turns around for the fight, so now the Avalanche Toss will arrive, but Necro has to help defend. The Death Pulse can chase the spiders.
And that's all Matumba wanted. Diving for that kill will take forever. He was hoping to get a response out of a hero, and he forces the TP. That's good enough.
Oh, here comes CCNC, Avalanche, and Toss. They'll combo together nicely to get the kill on Kuro. Yeah, it's problematic. You'll Scepter up. There's his defensive one.
Overwhelmed. Again, GH combining with Matumba. GH has been in 15 kills in 17 minutes on this Earth Spirit. Just really excellent read on the map, like where he can have the biggest impact. He plays with the Batrider for a long time. They trash that lane. He's like, okay, that's good enough. Let's go and play with Matumba Man, who just got the Fusel. They get these kills mid. It's just very systematic good play, really.
Yep.
There's not much else to say. They're doing all the right things.
Do they take out all the remaining out of towns? Like, do they continue to look for fights before they go high ground?
I think they grab the top tier 2 at least. These bottom towers are pretty annoying to get to. The distance from the bottom tier 2 of their own to that tower, it's a very long reach. When you've taken Roshan, it's a better play because then the enemy team can't really trade off by going for Rosh while you're pushing these bottom towers really far away. But they don't really have that much value right now. I think they'd rather take the top tower and then go there, if anything. Or if they're feeling confident, they could look to even high ground from the top area.
It's a smart
game. What they do.
They're coming after Miracle on top lane. Pycat will need to slow him down. But the ping is already on the way. So Kuro's pinging it out. They have a lot of vision around that bottom Dire Shrine. That's why Matumba is just farming that area. So the ping came in. Vision close, then Nova. It does not click Miracle.
Sixth sense there for Miracle. When you go for smokes like these, every second matters because it becomes more and more apparent what Optic are doing. Brood is covering the right side of the map with an placed by Kuro. The mid lane is empty and nobody's at the bottom tower. So where could Optic possibly be? I think Miracle there. I thought he was going to back earlier. He really stretched that as far as he could without getting caught. But the right read, and they will be going for the bottom tower after all. So now that they've forced the Optic team to go top to Miracle, who was just pressuring this tower to, well, if you guys don't come here, I'm going to take the tower. If you do, we'll just swap to the other side of the map. And they will grab at least one here, maybe two. We'll see. Top lane.
TPs up towards the top lane. ES came into the tier 2 tower. Kuro will arrive with mind control. No blink dagger available, so lands from Pycat. Tries to slow him down, but he doesn't have doppelganger. 33 can't really save him. Prophet's coming in through the rear. They'll lasso and drag Pycat down. Now he's not got doppelganger available. The kick and silence is pretty good from GH, but there's a lot more support arriving in from Optic. GH in the tree line. They'll take anything they can, but CCNC once more. Avalanche and toss onto Miracle, but CCNC interrupted by the magic missile of Kuro. Miracle just has to enrage and TP out, and somehow GH is still running away. The North 33 can't find it. You'd also is still available. Finally, the kill happens up on the top. Liquid heavily split, but mind control's not done yet. The flame break onto 33. He'll go Shroud and get that regeneration out. Zai finishes off the tower. Mind control still can't get closer. However, maybe when PPD is this slow, they can actually do it. He has to frostbite and run to the side. CCNC's got combination available. PPD will finally drop, and they just want to leave the Reaper sights on the bottom. They find the kill onto Matumba. A huge kill down for so long, and a huge amount of money in for 33.
Matumba was down here this whole fight. He didn't TP to his team, just splitting the map, getting the bottom tier 2.
Money, money, money. Oh, okay.
No money.
He stopped to summon trees.
Oh, it's actually hard to kill this courier because it has a plate mail. That's pretty convenient, right? It doesn't hit very hard when you have a plate mail on it. Well, the Brood's damage bottom, I would say, is 2. And for Matumba Man to back out, but what he did force was the rotation from both the PL and the Necro to come down there, and that's what secured Liquid that fight in the end. Had he escaped that without losing his life, it would have been very clean from them, but mistakes do happen.
Yep. Yeah, actually have a quick look at this fight again up on top. So underneath the tier 1 tower, CCNC already forced a retreat, but they just wanted to force this so hard. You
see Miracle casting the Enrage there in anticipation of the Reaper's Scythe, but that makes 33 hesitate for a moment. His blink comes off cooldown, he gets out. Now he uses they catch this Venge, but they can't Reaper him, and I don't think he wants to either. Good thing for 33 he didn't, actually. He ends up using that bottom to kill that Broodmother.
Yeah. You actually kind of wonder like what this fight would have been like if PL didn't go chasing after a support. Have a breather.
Why am I so greedy? That's the face of a guy saying, why am I so greedy?
Matumba, he's meant to be the unbridled aggression. To get back into their farming, Zai with Wrath of Nature just keeps pushing out the lanes. And this is where Optic can stall things up. The fact that Nature's Prophet, he's finished up a Spirit Vessel. He can keep the side lanes going. They've got great wave clear, Optic. So pushing high ground is a very risky thing for Liquid. One person goes down to Reaper's Scythe. They're dead for a very long time. If you want to commit the buyback, sure, but it's Optic who can defend quite comfortably from range.
If they hold out long enough, this Phantom Lancer will be pretty scary. So absolutely, that is...
He's catching up on the net worth. He's almost the same as the Earth, and now they go towards the mid, but Kuro has the distance.
They didn't have enough information about the position of all the Radiant heroes to commit for that kill, and it's also a low-value kill anyway, so they don't want to risk anything to get this Venge. But again, with a good map read.
Is Batumba waiting for a fight? He's just sitting on top of this Ancient for the last like 20-25 seconds. Pushed out an Observer Ward. Zai actually did that on the other side of the trees, so Batumba shouldn't be aware of it.
Yep.
Oh. He's looking for someone to come and farm.
He is lurking. This is pretty dangerous if he just goes up the high ground here.
Comes over, goes after CCNC, Avalanche and Toss will kill off his army. With the Wrath of Nature, Batumba just turns on the Insatiable Hunger Pike.
That's a bit crazy.
Underneath the shrine, he doesn't want to commit with it, but he will when there's extra support. Mind Control's got Blink and PPD. Not again, not like this. He's going to be jumped, lassoed back, and the Crystal Maiden is mauled.
This play is really similar to the Alchemist play from last game where Miracle didn't ulti, or didn't, and ran at the enemy team. It's like, Batumba, this looks like such an awful position. Like it looks like he's overdiving. The whole team is behind him in a smoke, and Optic actually with a really good read to not commit for that Brood kill. You see, you're just looking at the situation like this is kind of a crazy dive. Where's everybody else?
Yep. And they gained a trade-off in the meantime. 33 pushing out this bottom lane. He wants to get out of here. Zai will die, and 33 won't have to take the same sacrifice, but he has an Aghanim Scepter fully completed 24 minutes in on 33.
Yes. Could be a big item. They still have the problem of getting the heroes down to half health in the first place.
Yeah.
But once they get over that step, it will get interesting. So CCNC with a Shadow Blade should be able to do that on most of the Radiant cores. And obviously Pycat with just 1 or 2 extra items. Time is ticking. Liquid are not actually gaining. Look at the gold graph. It's
plateauing.
It's been 6 minutes and they're not really making progress. That's not necessarily a problem for now, but if they do take a bad fight, it could become problematic. This Roshan should belong to them.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what they choose to do with it, if they try to high ground or not. It's
and that's the big enabler, right? Like Team Liquid need to have this Aegis and Cheese so they can just go high ground, so they can take the fight that you're talking about.
And I think the key in this coming fight is that Mind Control tries to find Necrophos. If he manages to do that, that would be really big. For him, though, he doesn't have a Force Staff in this game with the build that he went. He went for a way more teamfight heavy, less skirmishy item build. So if he does catch this Necro, counterplay is available. He can't Force Staff the Necro into his team, so he's got to be a little bit careful with how he goes about it. You don't want to lasso Tiny, because it lasts 1 second.
Yep.
And Phantom Lancer is a pretty difficult catch, so it should be pretty clear that he wants...
GH can be revealed by this Observer Wall, but the Blink Lasso has already come out. Zai's going to get caught. GH be there to support, and PPD for once is not the man who's dying. Oh, no. Okay. He flew the other direction, almost full-on Caster Curse.
PPD was aware that all their lockdown was used, both Lasso and Kick, I believe, went into that kill on the Nature's Prophet, so was able to get out. Miracle.
Yeah, he's got that Observer Ward just watching the PL Illusions farming. This very thick coverage of the Dire Jungle. And wherever there isn't a ward, there's GH or there's a Broodmother. Alright. Manta Style is done for the Phantom Lancer.
Pycat's starting to get somewhere now. He's still, I think his next item, if he gets that without them losing more than maybe 1 lane of barracks, this game could get really interesting for Optic. But it's a big if. They're 12,000 down. They could have Aegis and Cheese. They have the high ground position right now that they're trying to strike from, which is being pinged out by PPD, is aware that this seems like the most likely place for them to be right now based on their vision. And good thing about this Nature's Prophet pick is that, well, when Liquid tries to start getting into this high ground position, the split push is kicking in. 33, as well as Treant's top, are pushing this down quickly, and I think Liquid will retreat and not get to high ground just yet.
Yeah, you see this the heroes too, they're willing to sacrifice. Well, yes, you want to have like items onto 33. He's already got the Aghanim Scepter. He's got the item for that high ground defense. And Zai, well, he's the sacrificial lamb. The rest of the time, it's making sure PL has that space to farm on.
CCNC.
Need to get bigger. CCNC does get initiated on. Support is nearby, but they are not going to help him out. CCNC can do the avalanche toss and hurt Batumba, but you hurt him, but you don't kill him. He's still got the Aegis. Instant movement. 33 is on bottom lane. They're pushing up the other side lane, and they do find a victim. 9's dead for PPD. And they also saw Zai, I think, for half a second. They just keep pinging him out too.
Sometimes Dota is really hard. Sometimes it's just really, really hard. It's one of those games. Being Crystal Maiden in this game is really hard.
Yeah. But at least now they know where Ursa and GH move. Both TP down to the shrine underneath the Dire Obs. So Optic can play around this. Kuro and Matumba rotating down towards the bottom lane as well. With Manta, it's so easy for Phantom Lancer to dodge out of these areas. Hey Zai, you want to kill that ward in time? Yeah, he does.
He does.
154 gold. I like it.
So Zai going for that Force Staff without... He still doesn't have boots. Gets obviously some movement speed from that Spirit Vessel. 30 movement speed. So it helps. And he has a movement speed talent. So still moves at a decent 362. And this Force Staff is crucial for his team. That's how they can try to disengage from a Diffusal Broodmother. It's how they can try to disengage from an Ursa blinking and going for a bash. It will, however, not save them from Lasso.
Yeah.
And Mind Control with that newly picked up Yules now has 2 disables in skirmishes.
The push is coming again up on top lane, but Team Liquid, remember, they've got the Aegis Immortal, they've got the cheese, they want to be reaching the base. Even if it's just to kill off the tier 3 tower, that will open up the shrines for, well, demolishing. So they smoke up, 4 heroes together. And who's going to be the target? Right now, Prophet still has a lot of momentum on top lane. CC and C's farming in the jungle. Getting very close towards that Shadow Blade, but they need to hold their buyback money too. Tiny and Necro both have buyback available, and here's Matumba testing the defenses, putting the toe in the Optic Blake. And how cold is it going to be? PPD. Oh, that's cold. That's real cold. PPD just gets exploded again. 43 seconds down. Blink Lasso. Big target. They called out 33. There needs to be some kind of save. CNC. Where is the extra help? The swap back. They just keep going one by one. Luckily, there's a lot more Pycat where that came from. Chasing after Kuro. Burning up the mana. Pycat now has to use the mana style, but he waited. So then the Diffuser Blade follow-up is up. Pycat does not have buyback available. Necro is used here. Miracle has burned the BKB. Now, you may have taken the top tier 2 tower and Zai's reaching the tier 3 tower on top, but you are losing your mid if you're Optic. And who wants to come back to defend this? Zai's already beginning his TP out, and it's Mind Control who's sent back for defense. They don't care. Miracle and Matumba will be happy to continue this fight.
That was the one lasso they needed. The exact target at the exact time. Mind Control just waited for it patiently. When's Necro coming in?
Send him up, bring him back down again. Remember, there's still the Aegis Immortal on Matama, but Avalanche, can he toss him back in? No! The silence is up, and CCNC, the triple kick! G8! G good! So good! Triple kill for Miracle! They're gonna look for the Ultra! This will be a dieback on 33! Wait for the inevitable! Matama is just a beast! Miracle will take the Ultra kill, and that really is probably the game. They are back doing it. GG Cole is gonna come out just a bit as the GG pushes up. Pycat is the sole defender for Optic Gaming, and there is no way he can hold back the Horde.
Liquid just looks so good, man. They're making all these super good decisions with which heroes they put where, how they play their lanes, how they move around, spell casting, everything's on point. They look in really good shape, honestly.
Yeah.
That's
GG.
That's it.
Team Liquid have done it. Took half an hour for game 2, but it belongs to them, and so does top 6. They are the defending champions, and they are playing champion level Dota.
They made it look easy this game, I gotta say. This time, they didn't have this super big Alchemist time bomb that you had just had ticking. This game was more about just crisp execution. Like I said, movement, laning, they just itemization.
They're ticking
I feel like I watched this game and I couldn't really put a finger on what they did. Like everything was super clean. Actually, no, there was one. GH missed a kick.
Critical.
Once.
But then
he missed a silence.
Yeah, but then he got like every single time. GH missed all across the map, and that's going to feel good for Team Liquid. A terrific start to their TI8 campaign here in the playoffs. They're able to get the victory in the quarterfinals. Now they're top 6 at TI8.
Liquid, they are the